Stop taking advice from billionaires. They've made billions, so their advice must be amazing, right? Yeah, I used to think the same thing. Then I met a few. I know, I'm lucky. Over the past 5 years, I've had a chance to sit down and have some real conversations with multiple billionaires. I'm not talking about watching them on stage. I mean, sitting down one-on-one or in small groups, talking with them for hours or even days. And here's the truth. Their advice, probably not that helpful for you or me. You see, if you're a billionaire, you live in an entirely different world. Let me give you an example. When I went to meet Sir Richard Branson on his private island, the trip took me 2 days each way. Now, the flight from my home in Mexico to his island should have been about 3 hours the way the crow flies. But it wasn't. I had to first fly to the US, then to Puerto Rico. I arrived too late in the day to make the connecting flight to the British Virgin Islands. So I spend the night in Puerto Rico, fly out the next day, then take a 2-hour boat ride to his place. Being completely new to the billionaire lifestyle, I casually mentioned to one of his team members how inconvenient it was, and how did Richard get out to his island so often? And then they kind of turned to me and looked confused. With a straight face, they replied, he has 70 private jets and multiple helicopters. He just flies into the airport, takes a helicopter over, and he's here in 30 minutes. I felt dumb. But that moment, and others like it, in future meetings with billionaires revealed something important. This is why their advice usually doesn't apply to us. They don't live in the same world we do. They operate in another one. They have resources that allow them to make moves most of us couldn't even dream. Now, that's not to say we can't learn something from them. Some of them started out like we did, bootstrapping a business from scratch. But all the ones I've met are in their 60s and 70s, if not older. That time was a long time ago. If they do remember what they did at that time, the world is a completely different place, and their advice may no longer be relevant. Honestly, just like you, I can barely remember what my middle school life was like. What worked back then probably won't work for us now. And what works for them now is completely out of reach for most of us. So stop taking advice from billionaires. Instead, find somebody just a few steps ahead of you and learn from them. Then, once you reach or pass them, find the next person a few steps ahead of that. Keep doing that, and one day you may be able to take advice from billionaires and really act on it.